Most of the time when we start a watercolor painting, we're focused on the subject, the object itself, and then all the little details that bring it to life. But one thing that I struggled with when I first started was backgrounds. Wanting one, needing one, not knowing how to go about creating one, because my paintings seemed without a background, they seemed rather empty or flat, like the object was just floating in space. So I started doing some experimenting. I started with the simple things like sprinkles and splatters and splashes, or maybe even a full color wash. And those are great to support a painting, but sometimes you want something that will inspire one. I certainly did. So I wanted to see interesting textures or bursts of color, some kind of detail that then would spark me to paint something that maybe I'd never thought to paint before. Of course, there are a gazillion different ways to go about creating backgrounds on watercolor paintings. But for today, we're going to use 3 very ordinary household items, but that actually produce some pretty extraordinary results. The best part is that almost everybody has them at home. If you don't happen to have them, or all of them, you could probably find a substitute also at home, or ask a neighbor to borrow something. So let's get started and find out what the watercolor kaleidoscope is going to turn up today.
I started with just 3 scraps of paper, just strips that kind of were the shape and size of a bookmark, if you will. And then I just taped them down to my little artboard. And the 3 ordinary household items I used were cling wrap or plastic film of some kind, a paper towel of any size, and the best part, a little vodka. So with everything in place, I just chose a color, blue, for this first strip, and with really heavily saturated paint, so lots of wet paint, I just began to splotch it around on the strip and choosing maybe 2 or 3 different colors of blue just to make it random and more interesting, and began to cover that whole strip with that paint. And once you've covered the whole strip, just grab a piece of that plastic film, cling wrap or saran wrap, whatever you call it, and place it down over on top of the wet paint. You'll start to see some of the formations already through the plastic film, but just cover it fully and then press down on it so that it is pushing into that wet paint. Just press firmly and then just let it be. This is the time to let it dry. Okay, moving on to another strip, this one for the paper towel. Again, just taking super heavily saturated paint, so very, very wet, and any color you want, and this is going to be mini colors, so just the vibrancy is up to you. Just begin to splotch it around, starting in one area, and then when you pick up another color, be sure that it's a color that will that's not complementary, so that it won't turn it brown or mud-like. So I started with like a pink and then moved to orange and then yellow and then maybe green and blue, purple. You can follow any form or any order you want. Just make sure that you do it same consistency, super wet, lots of pigment, and cover the whole strip. And as you finish that strip with the last color, here comes the fun part, and it's just the beginning. Just placing the paper towel down firmly again on the strip that you've just painted. It's going to soak up into, some of it's going to soak up into the paper towel, but that's okay because guess what? We're going to paint over it all over again. So here's where you might want to consider or remember what colors are underneath and where they're placed underneath. And again, use not complementary colors, but those that will go well with it. So I started with yellow over that pink. So same kind of thing. We don't want to put the yellow over purple because it could just turn grayish. You don't want to put red over green or green over red because, again, it will just turn to more of a brown, muddy kind of color. And just do that over the whole strip again. right on top. You're painting the paper towel basically. Make sure you're using lots of heavy sopping paint until you cover the whole paper towel strip, and then you'll have it ready to dry. Next, we'll do the one in the middle, and this one we'll just do a full-on wash. You can use all one color or you can choose multiple colors. I start with an orange, and at the top, again, making it nice and heavily saturated. So darkest at the top. If you want to do a gradient, you could always do that. You can make it come down to be lighter at the bottom. But always as you add paint to it, use that leading beaded edge of wet paint so that you can continue it so that it's a nice, solid, smooth background, no hard lines. I decided to go ahead and throw in a different color, maybe adding a little pink strip area, and then just finish it off with a little bright yellow stripe at the bottom, just to add some variant to it. Now for the fun part, bring on the vodka. I put it in a little separate cup and then use a eyedropper kind of tool just to squeeze up a few drops. That's all it's going to take. And then carefully over the wet paint, just drop in little big drops, small drops. Oh my gosh, it's so amazing. It's like magic. As that alcohol hits the watercolor, it spreads it, pushes it out to the side, lifts some of it up, and creates these incredible, cool looking circles. And when you've done as many as you want, you could just squeeze a little bit of excess back into that cup and save it for your cocktail later on. Or mix one up now while we wait for these to dry. Okay, it's been about 6 hours and I'm so excited to see what we got. Taking off the plastic film first, just revealing some very sharp edges and cool texture. Way neat. I love it. And then the paper towel, carefully peel that back. It is paper on paper, so mine got stuck there a little bit with a glob of paint probably. But I love it. You can actually see some of the paper towel design on the watercolor paper. Very cool. And then the vodka there, those bursts of lifted color. So cool. 3 extraordinary backgrounds from 3 very ordinary household items.
Well, there you have it. 3 different watercolor backgrounds, all created with everyday items. Okay, well, maybe vodka isn't everyday for everyone, but each one of these produced a very different effect, from bold lines and textures to vibrant color bursts to even those little circles of lifted color. And like I said, once you see those on the paper, they can start suggesting new kinds of paintings or new subjects to paint, either on top of them or use this around them. For instance, I love this blue one. It looks like an icy window to me. It definitely could be, in blue, it could be a winter scene. If it was green, it might be a jungle or a rainforest type of background. And the colorful Kaleido paper towel. I love the texture on it because you can see some of those little dimples from the actual paper towel design, but this would be great as a background to put a silhouette type of drawing on top, say a butterfly or a hummingbird. And the vodka burst here, I think this is super cool. I think these little circles of lifted color would be great as flowers or fireworks. So you never know what that kind of background, doing these kinds of backgrounds might inspire you to paint next. So if you try one of these techniques, I'd love to hear which one you do or which one you like the best, or if you have some new item that we might try, please drop a comment and let me know, and let's give it a go.
And if you don't happen to have vodka in the house or drinking type of alcohol, any kind will work. Even rubbing alcohol will be fine. And now we just let it dry. Leave it alone. Don't use a hairdryer or a heat tool. Just leave it out in the air for several hours. And then we'll come back to see what results we got. Okay, it's been about 6 hours here and I'm so excited. I can't wait to see what we got. So removing the plastic wrap, just taking it off gently. It's nice and dry, but wow, definitely some cool sharp lines. You can see the texture. And then the paper towel, it's super dry, and taking it off carefully. Mine stuck there a little bit, but didn't tear any paper or anything like that, but definitely has some cool textures. You can even see the design of that's in the paper towel itself on the watercolor paper. And there they are, 3 different backgrounds using average everyday household items. Plastic wrap, a paper towel, and a little shot of vodka.